Ladies, if you're going to be here, do me a favor, go and grab your water. If you're going to be here, if you're going to stay, you're going to chat for a little bit, go and grab your water. Gia, when was your last professional trim? Brooke, how come your last professional trim was over 10 years ago? And Miss Pretty Eyes, how come your last professional trim was over 3 years ago? Was 3 years ago? Please go and grab your water if you're going to stay and talk with us for a little bit. We are a water drinking group around here. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. We are a water drinking group around here. Please go and grab your water before we really get started. I don't believe that, Pretty Eyes. Your goal, Jasmine, is every 8 to 10 weeks. Well, I'm glad you're here in this class because we're going to talk about that. I am glad you're in this class because we are going to talk about that. Brooke, you like doing your own hair? Okay, I can appreciate that. Here's what I will say, right? I understand that it's probably not easy. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. I understand that it's not easy to find a healthy hair coach, right? Like a professional who has your best interest at heart when it comes to your hair. Nelly, give me 1 second. Who has your best interest at heart when it comes to your hair and really wants to help you on your healthy hair journey, right? But while you are doing your hair, I want to encourage you, Brooke, to look for a healthy hair care professional, to look for a healthy hair coach, to look for someone who is happy to educate their clients and makes you feel good when you leave the chair, right? Even with you liking to do your own hair. A professional trim does this, right? When a professional is standing behind you and they're looking at your hair, they're looking at the shape of your hair, right? They're also looking for where are there more split ends, like where are they resting, so that this way we can point you in the right direction so that you can stop getting those split ends in that area, right? But it's really hard for you to see your own hair, where your split ends lie, if you're doing your hair yourself, if you're trimming your hair yourself. But here's what I will say, right? I am encouraging you to go sit with a professional so that you can get a better or more cohesive shape. Usually our shears are particularly sharper, right? And so that makes for a cleaner cut. Not to say that your cuts or your trims, when you do your trims yourself, are not clean. It just becomes a cleaner cut when a professional is behind you doing it, and of course using professional tools, right? But also, Brooke, you just want some feedback, no? Right? You want someone to tell you, okay, everything that you're doing is 100% on par, and you only need to see a professional every so often to do X or Y or Z, right? But I'll say this: doing a self trim is better than no trim at all, right? But I do believe that a professional trim is better than self trimming. Okay. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. Okay, we're going to take 3 more minutes. Nelly, I'm going to look back because I feel like you texted more than the word length. Or you, oh, no. That's it. DM length. DM length. Comment the word length right now, Nelly. Nobody else. Nelly, you the only one. Okay, Nelly, comment the word length right now. Do it right now. Okay, so you can get what you want. Okay, girls, we're almost ready. We're talking about length retention tonight. We're talking about hey, Facebook, hey, YouTube. What up, Jay? Hey, Facebook, hey, YouTube. How are you? Happy Friday. What up, Ms. Barksdale? I know I need a real good chop. Let me look for a pro. I'm feeling guilty over here. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. You know what's Pretty Eyes, I'll say this to you, okay? Before I was a professional, I was a consumer, right? Before I was doing hair, before I was doing hair professionally, I was somebody's client, right? And here's what I will say. I grew up in a time where your stylist did not, more often than not, your stylist was not telling you, educating you, telling you what you should do with your hair, about your hair, because they were scared that you would do your hair on your own and you wouldn't need them anymore. That would affect their money, that would affect their pockets. We're not like that no more. You know, hey, Justice. Justice said I'm here. Justice, listen to me. Y'all hear me? If y'all hear me fussing at Justice, it's because her ass be, it's her behind be over there cutting up on that damn Facebook. That's where I come from, right? I come from a time like that, but it's not like that anymore, right? So I feel like in the day and age of social media, it'll be a lot easier for you to find someone who aligns with what you're looking for, right? So you want to look for someone who knows how to style, right? The way that you like your to wear your hair, you want to make sure he or she knows how to do hair that way, but you also want to make sure that he or she is willing to like educate and pour into you in the way that feels good to you. And again, because we're in the day and age of social media and you could see everybody's work, you could see what they about, you could see what they doing before you book the appointment, before you spend your hard-earned money. Ask all of the questions before you go to spend your hard-earned money. Okay? DM, email, text message, right? If they allow that. When you find someone that you feel that you like, have conversations with them so that you feel a little bit more comfortable. Engage in their content so that you feel a little bit more comfortable with who you're about to go and sit with. If they leave you on red consistently, texture press included, right? I'm not perfect, and sometimes I'm going to miss a DM, but I'm still going to teach you. If you reach out to a stylist who you really want to sit down with and you haven't heard back from them when you've asked them a question or whatever the case might be, leave them alone. Okay, leave them alone. I will say for myself, it's one of two things. I either am really swamped with work if I miss your message, or I open that damn message and because I'm 40 and forgetful, you know. Okay. So charge it to my brain, not my heart. Hey, Miss Hair Extreme. Okay, we're almost ready. We got 3 more minutes. Justice, you got your water, your blueberry water. Ms. J. Smith, you got your water? Before we get started, while we're waiting to get started, do me a favor, please. If you are in here and you plan to stay for a while, do me a favor in the comments. Tell the ladies your name, where you're from, and if you're new or if you're an OG. If you're new around here, you've been with us for less than a year. If you're an OG around here, you've been rocking with us for more than a year. If you're gonna stay, all right, Jay. If you rocking with us and you're gonna stay for a little minute, do me a favor, please. Go ahead and grab your water if you haven't already. And then once you get back, hey, Angel. And then once you get back, tell the ladies your name, where you're from, and if you're new or if you're an OG. Kay's an OG from Brooklyn. Kay been rocking with us for some time, right? Even during COVID, right, Kay? We were in the DMs talking, etc., etc. Angel, tell the girls your name. Can we call you? Want us to call you Angel? Tell the girls your name and then tell us where you're from. Jay said Jennifer from is MS Minnesota. Alabama. Keisha. Alabama seems so far. I want you closer to me. Mississippi. Girl, thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me. Justice, I didn't know you was from NOLA. Or maybe I did know that. Maybe I did know that. Girls on IG, tell the girls your name, where you're from, and if you're new or if you're an OG around here. Ariel, can I still call you Miss Barksdale? Because was it from The Wire, right? Barksdale was from The Wire. That's really why I like calling your name. Can I call you Miss Barksdale? Because in my mind, you're his wife. You know, you're his wife. Oh, you're just from around the water, from across the water, Angel. I know that's right. I know that's right. Are we ready? Okay, I love I love what Miss Barksdale. We're ready? Okay, good. I'll introduce myself. Hey, boss. My name is Ebony K. I'm the owner of Textured Press, and what I do is give women confidence in their natural hair journey by simply giving them product and tool records. I've been in the industry for almost now, so that's nearly 20 years. Well, I was been doing this since Obama, you know, since we were a proper country. Okay, I've been doing this for quite some time, and one of my favorite things to do is to watch you flourish um, in the hair space, right? Is to watch you be more confident when it comes to you talking about your hair, right? A lot of times when I get clients for the first visit, a lot of the conversation that we have is like reframing how they think about their hair, right? America has told us, taught us, made us to believe that our hair, kinky hair, curly hair is not good, right? That good hair, quote unquote, is looser, silkier, et cetera, et cetera. And so nothing lights me up more than seeing a woman who I've been able to coach to love her hair more, no matter the kink or the curl. So that's me. That's what I do. I have been very fortunate to help hundreds of women hit their healthy hair goals. And I want to do that with you today. I want to give you some of my foundational things that I have found to be most helpful for the women that I serve. Excuse me. So let's get into it. Okay. We're talking length retention today. Do we know the difference between growing hair, painting your hair? Come on, Memphis. Miss Barksdale, do we know the difference between growing your hair and retaining your length? Angel? Angel, I don't. Do we know we know that there is a difference, I'm sure, right? When someone says my hair is not growing, that usually means that they're not retaining length. But us here, we know that there's a difference, right? What's the difference between growing your hair and retaining your length? Yes, Miss Barksdale, tell me what's the difference. What's the difference between growing your hair and retaining your length, Miss Barksdale? Facebook, YouTube. Angel. Hold on, y'all. We got, and she came in. We Justice. She came in early with it. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Angel says growing from the scalp, retaining is keeping healthy ends with a question mark. Angel, around here, I do not care if you're wrong, but if I ask you a question and you want to answer the question, answer it with your whole chest. Okay? I don't. So no question marks on the end. Okay? Say it boldly, even if you're wrong. Even if you're wrong. That's how we build confidence around here. Say it boldly. And if you're wrong, I will help you course correct. I don't care. I do not care about you being wrong, but please don't answer a question with a question mark. Say it boldly. Say it with your whole chest. I will help you course correct. Ms. Barksdale? Yeah. Come on. So restate it, Angel. Restate your answer, Angel. Come on. Come on. And we'll wait for you. We ain't in no rush. We'll wait for you. We waiting for Ms. Barksdale to answer anyway. Ms. Barksdale, you got to answer? I don't know it's a totally acceptable answer around here. Hold on a second. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Do we know the answer to this question, or do we not know the answer to this question? If we're not going to be conversing today, then I'll just put up the live from yesterday, and y'all can learn from yesterday's live. There we go, Angel. There we go, Angel. Okay. Would have loved an exclamation point at the end, you know? But small steps, right? Growing is from the scalp, retaining is maintaining healthy ends. 100%. Latasha. Okay, listen, if we're not going to converse, that's okay, right? It's Friday night. Y'all might be a little tired. Okay, that's fine. But I can just put up a live replay. We don't have to, I don't have to do this. Your hair naturally grows, length retention, you got to put in the work 100%. Okay, 100%. Grow When we are talking about growing hair, if you ever feel like your hair is not growing, typically what you're really feeling is that you're not retaining enough length, right? So if any of us here on this live have ever felt as though our hair is not growing, it's really because we're feeling like our length has plateaued. As long as you are alive, as long as your follicles are alive, your hair is always growing. Even when we become older, right? So many women are like, "Oh, I'm of a certain age. I hit perimenopause, and so my hair is not growing anymore." And that's not true. Your hair is always growing, but there are plenty of things that directly affect just how rapidly your hair grows, and there are plenty of things that will affect whether or not you are retaining length. And so if you feel as though your hair is not growing, but you know that your follicles are alive, right? You know that you don't have if your hair is not growing, that means we're bald. Okay, that means your scalp is not getting it, your follicles, are not getting any oxygen, and hair is not growing on the other side of your follicles. Okay, so if that's not the case, then your hair is growing, we're just not retaining length. We are going to talk about 3 simple steps to help you start retaining length. Okay, before we get into the 3 simple steps and my acronym, here's what I want from you. Currently, we're sitting at about 15 of us on this live right now. Okay, there's 15 of us on this live. If we can hit 30 people on this live this evening, then you guys can get the free guide. Okay, Latasha? What's the free guide? The free guide essentially tells you what kind of shampoo and conditioner you should be using on any particular wash day based on your hair type, right? So if you have fine hair, I broke down what kind of shampoo and conditioner you should be using and what your wash day schedule should look like. If you have medium hair or coarse hair, I broke down what kind of shampoo and conditioner you should be using based on your hair type and what your hair schedule, your wash day schedule, should look like. Okay, that's really helpful because a healthy scalp leads to more growth. Okay, which makes it easier for you to start retaining more length, right? If you're growing faster, it's a lot easier for you to see that your hair is retaining more length. Okay, now, in order for you to get the free guide, we have to hit 30? In order for you to get the free guide, we have to hit 30 people on this live. In order for us to hit 30 people on this live, what do you feel like you need to do? I'm going to give you the information for free, but what do you need to do at no additional charge? Let me say that. What up, Jocelyn? I'm going to give you the guide at no charge, right? You ain't got to swipe a card. You ain't got to give me a penny. But if I'm going to give you the free guide in exchange for us hitting 30 people, what does that mean you have to do? We're at 15 right now. That's not bad. We halfway there. There we go, Brooke. I'll tell y'all what Brooke says as soon as y'all give me trying to answer. Angel, Jay, Justice. There we go, Christina. Hey, Christina, welcome in. Share the live. Okay, so I especially when you learn something new on this live, go ahead and share it to 1 or 2 people. Okay, like, comment, share. There we go, Angel. Thank you for that. Okay, in order for in order for us to hit more people, you guys have to share the live, and then you can get the guide at no cost. Okay. Again, over the past almost 2 decades, I've been able to help women hit their healthy hair goals. Jocelyn is one of them, right? And it's broken down in length retention in particular, it's broken down into 3 simple steps in my professional opinion, okay? CBD is the acronym for the 3 simple steps. CBD is the acronym for the 3 simple steps to retaining more length. What do you think the C in CBD stands for? Brooke, you don't answer. Because Brooke, I know you know the answer. You've been on this live all week. Brooke, you don't answer. What do we think this, and you either, Kay. What do we think the C in CBD stands for? When it's related to length retention, hey Ruth. When it's related to length retention, what do we think the C in CBD stands for? Consistency. 100%. 100%. For me, right? Consistency is a predictable rhythm, right? You know exactly what's coming next when you have a predictable rhythm, right? Consistency could look like every 3 months. Consistency could look like, in terms of switching up hairstyles, right? When we talk about switching up hairstyles, consistency could look like, okay, I do my silk press twice, to 2 or 3 times in a row, and then I give my hair a break for 4 or 5 weeks, right? That is predictable for your hair. Consistency could look like, I know when I need to get my hair trimmed because my hair starts to shed more, right? These things are regular. They're not rapid, but they are regular and rhythmic, right? It's predictable. Constant, right? I'd rather you be consistent than you be constantly doing anything, okay? So Angel, let me ask you this. Have you ever had box braids or knotless braids? Ariel, Miss Barksdale, have you ever had box braids or knotless braids? Jocelyn, you? Have you ever had box braids or knotless braids? Yes? Okay, perfect. Do you think, Angel, right? Because if you're on this live, I'm assuming that length retention is important to you, right? If you do you feel like if you were constantly, right? If you were constantly, if every 6 weeks, right, for 2 years, if you were constantly in box braids or knotless braids, do you think that that would be helpful to your length retention goals? Ariel, if you were constantly, Jocelyn, if you were constantly, right, if every 6 weeks for 2 years, right, you were constantly getting box braids or knotless braids, do you think that that would be helpful to your length retention goals? Yes? Angel says yes. Miss Barksdale? If you were constantly, okay, tell me why you say no, Jocelyn. Angel doesn't agree. Okay, Angel doesn't agree. Angel does feel like if she kept her hair in box braids or knotless braids for a year or two, right? If she kept doing that style, if she was constantly doing that style, Jasmine, she feels like that would be helpful to her length retention goals. But Jasmine, Nelly, Brooke, tell me why. Denise, you said you don't agree either. Tell me why. Tell Angel why. Tell Angel why. Don't tell me why. Tell Angel why. And I'll read it to her on Instagram. If you're on Facebook already, Angel, you can see Denise's answer. Angel, Nelly says that wouldn't be helpful to your length retention goals because it would be too much tension. That's fair. Brooke says the same thing, Angel. If you were to constantly keep your hair in braids, then it would be too much tension on your hair. That's what Brooke is saying. Denise is saying the same thing. She thinks it's too much tension. Here's what I'll say, Angel. So let me ask you this, Angel. So Jasmine, before I ask my question, Angel, let me tell you what Jasmine says. Jasmine says tension, difficult to properly cleanse and hydrate the hair. Jocelyn says because your hair needs a break from the impact of that style. Too much tension on the hair is what Christina is saying. Angel, I do not disagree with what any of your classmates are saying right now. Okay? So here's what I want you to think about, Angel. A couple of things. Okay? First, let's talk about Kanekalon hair. Tension and causes dryness, and the hair will snap. I 100% agree with you, Miss Barksdale. Here's what I'll tell you, Angel. Kanekalon hair, that braiding hair, and even some human hairs, definitely the blended hair, right? The hair that is both synthetic and human hair. Let's talk about the blended hair and the synthetic hair in particular. A lot of that hair is made up of tar. Okay, tar. Hardened tar. Okay. Now imagine that hardened tar being braided up against your hair for 2 years straight, right? The ladies are right. That kind of weight will 100%, excuse me, affect just how easy it is for your hair to snap or break because of the weight of the Kanekalon, or the blended Kanekalon human hair is on your natural hair, right? So tension is going to be a huge problem. The fact again that is tar being around your natural hair makes it significantly easier for you to experience breakage. Okay? And breakage leads to what? Breakage leads to what? 100% justice. 100% Jocelyn. Right on. Jocelyn says shorter hair. Okay? If breakage leads to shorter hair, then that is going to be counterproductive to your length retention, excuse me, to your length retention goals. Okay? So, Angel, here's what I want to encourage you to do. Be consistent with switching ball head, small head. Ball head, small head, 100%. Lots of loss, Lady Lou says. Okay? Here's what I want to encourage you to do, Angel. You have to be consistent. Consistency is key. Too much tension for the scalp can cause thinning. Retention is possible if treated after every hairstyle. I'm not saying that it would be as healthy, but definitely some retention. So here's what, Angel, I'm also not disputing that it's impossible to retain length when you do box braids or knotless braids, right? But to your point, consistency is key. That constant being in braids, Angel, right? So constantly going, taking the braids out, putting back in, taking the braids out, putting it back in. That's why I wanted to distinguish consistent versus constant, right? So constantly doing it is going to lead to hair thinning and too much tension, right? But the consistency, to your point, is going to be key. So, Angel, here's my suggestion, okay? For you or anybody else on this live who is looking to retain more length and feels that their hair does really well when in box braids or knotless braids, do it twice, back to back, and then give your hair a break. And then while you're on break, you put a different hairstyle in rotation so that you are consistent with switching or changing the hairstyle, but not constantly changing the hairstyle. Getting in braids one week, the next week you go into a ponytail. The week after that you got knotless braids again, and the week after that you in a wig. That constant is going to be counterproductive to your healthy hair goals. But consistency, rhythmic. Okay, I did it twice and gave it a break. Did it twice, then gave it a break. That is predictable for your hair, right? As opposed to you hustling backwards, feeling like your hair grows way more but in a protective style. But if you're not able to keep the length because that tar is being rubbed on the ends of your natural hair, then yeah, we're working backwards. We're hustling backwards. Okay. Again, 15 of us on this live. If you guys can get the live to 30 people, then you can get the guide for free. Okay. But that's what I want you to understand, Angel. Being consistent is the key, 100%. But that constant switching of the style, even Angel, even wash and goes. We talked about this earlier in the week, didn't we? Even wash and goes. You cannot constantly do a wash and go. You cannot straight up wear wash and goes for a full year and retain more length. Why is that? Tell Angel why. Tell Angel why. Your classmates are about to put you on, Angel. Tell Angel why. Why is it that wearing wash and goes for a year, 2 years in a row, not switching the style, but constantly doing wash and goes for a year, 18 months, 24 months? Why is that going to be counterproductive to your length retention goals? because your hair will tangle and you have to trim those ends irregardless, right? But the tangles, there we go. Nelly, Nelly, you are OG. Denise says too much manipulation. The manipulation angel says fairy knots, split ends. Okay? Okay? Because your hair is already coiled and curly, okay? Because your hair is already coily and curly, it makes it easier for it to wrap around itself and form fairy knots, single strand knots, right? If your hair is consistently getting tangled, when you go to brush, when you go to comb to detangle your hair, but you're not consistent, Angel, right? You're not consistent with your trim schedule, then what happens? Them tangles and them split ends start to travel up the hair strand. If your tangles travel up the hair strand, that means when you go to detangle, sometimes it's breaking or snapping at the midpoint of the hair strand, right? Again, working directly against your length retention goals. You have to be consistent with switching things up, okay? Here's what I suggest, Angel. Justice, you were here yesterday. Here's what I suggest. Nelly, 100%. When we talk about dry rot, what is that, Nelly? Tell the girls what dry rot is, and then I'll read it out loud. Here's what I suggest when it comes to consistency and hairstyles. My suggestion is for you to consistently improve on getting better with just 3 hairstyles that you can perfect at home on your own, okay? None of them 3 hairstyles can be a ponytail, Angel. Case, that's what she was thinking, Angel. None of them 3 hairstyles, okay, could be a ponytail. My preference is really for you to do 2 ponytails. My preference really is for you to learn 2 hairstyles that require no direct heat, right? So one of the 3 hairstyles, 2 of the 3 hairstyles could look like on blow dried hair, a rod set, flexi rod, perm rod set. On blow dried hair, braid out or twist out. On blow dried hair, plaits and plaits, and that's how you rock your hair, right? And maybe you wear it underneath the unit. One of the 3 hairstyles could be a sew-in, okay? One of the 3 hairstyles could be mini twist, and the other could be learning how to silk press your hair. The other one of the 3 could be on blow dried hair. You learn how to wand curl your hair, right? So you've learned 1 heat style and 2 reduced heat hairstyles, right? Where you're styling after the blow dry phase, so that you're consistent with switching up the hairstyles, right? Okay, straight hair, natural, braids, and a sew-in. I can get on board with that. Which one of those do you do yourself, Angel? Which one of those 3 hairstyles do you do yourself? Nelly, I ain't forget about you. Tell the girls what dry rot is. You know what it is. If you knew to say that, Nelly, you know what dry rot is. Tell the girls what dry rot is, please. Tell your classmates. Angel, which of those 3 things do you know how to do yourself? You're a straight hair natural, you wear sew-ins, and we also wear braids. That's 3 styles, right? And 2 of them require, hopefully, a few of them require no direct heat. Christina, that wasn't for you. That was for Angel. What up, Jazz? Christina, that wasn't for you. Angel said, I know how to do my own silk press. I know that's right, Angel. I know that's right. I love that for you. You are 100% correct, Christina, but we're waiting for Nelly. You are 100% Christina, but we're waiting for Nelly. But that's my suggestion, okay? And the same with your trim schedule. Somebody on here earlier said that they're aiming for trimming their hair every 8 to 10 weeks. What's the rule around here? What's the rule around here? Bingo, Christina. Thank you for putting the YouTube and Facebook girls on. I'm gonna, since Nelly's not is ignoring us right now, I'll read Christina's answer out loud. Dry rot is when moisture stays on the hair for too long, causing decay and weakening and breaking the hair strand. You can also get fungus on your scalp if you are not careful, because that that water is staying on the hair, right? Creating mildew, creating area for fungus, especially when we doing wet buns. We'll talk about that at another time. Okay. Brooke says, my suggestion is every 6 weeks. I'm sorry, Brooke, you've been here before. You've been here before. What you know we are not, or are you saying that I'm against every 6 weeks? If you've been here before, you know that I'm never going to suggest to you that you trim your hair every 6, 8, or 10 weeks. Okay? Angel says, I trim my hair once a year. Is that enough? When you go to your stylist to get your hair trimmed, I'm assuming professionally, right? Angel, we're talking professionally? Christina, I can't too good see your, is that the hand washing emoji? Angel, you sit with a professional once a year to get your hair trimmed, I'm imagining, right? So let me ask you this. When you get your report card, if she got a license, if she got a license and she's using professional shears, she's a stylist. Okay? So what does she say? What does your stylist say? When you go in for your report card annually for your trim, when you go in for your report card annually for your trim, what's your report card? What does she say? Does she say that you're doing well trimming once a year? Oh, the graduation emoji. I love that, Christina. We might have to use that for teacher's pet in here. There we go, Jay. There we go, Jocelyn. 100%. Miss Brooke, Jocelyn is helping you. Your classmate is helping you out, boss. Okay? So I'm going to ask you again, Brooke. How often do I typically suggest you ladies trim? Angel, why you? What's up, Angel? You ain't talking to us now? She said it's good. I don't do much manipulation. Okay. So let me ask you this, Angel. So if you only sit with a stylist once a year, that means you take care of your hair yourself. For the past 3 months, Angel, right? For the past 3 months, have you been using the same shampoo and conditioner for the past 3 months? If so, can you tell me the shampoos and conditioners that you've been using? It will no longer be a trim. It'll be a full haircut, a whole haircut. Angel, what shampoo and conditioner have you been using consistently for the shampoos and conditioners have you been using most consistently for the past 3 months? This is going to be the real test right now, right, y'all? Jocelyn, tell the girls on Instagram at minimum, Brooke. At minimum, Brooke. Okay, and I'll explain in a little bit. As soon as we get Angel to tell us what shampoos and conditioners she's been using most consistently for the past 3 months, I'll explain my professional opinion on what trimming should look like and why. Y'all need to go get my charger. Y'all let me know when Angel come back. I'm going to get my charger so the laptop don't die. We still waiting for Angel? Maybe she had to go get her product. Okay, maybe she had to go get her product. For now, Facebook, YouTube, we'll wait for Angel to get back. Instagram, I have a question. Okay, in the last 3 months, what are the 2 types of shampoos and conditioners Angel should have been using if she wants to make sure that she can go a whole year without trimming her hair? What are the 2 kinds of shampoos and conditioners that Angel should be using if she wants to ensure her hair strands stay whole so that she can go a whole year without trimming her hair. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. And what else? What else? Thank you, Jocelyn. Come on, Miss Barksdale. You got to finish your answer, Miss Barksdale. Here's what I'll say. Okay, while we wait for Angel, here's what I'll say. There we go, Justice. I was waiting, girl. There we go, Justice. Miss Barksdale, Jocelyn got you. Brooke, Jocelyn got you. Your classmate got you. Both of her answers, both of Jocelyn's answers, Miss Multifaceted, both of her answers. Okay, your classmate is putting you on. Here's the only way that I can see anyone going a full on year without trimming their hair. Okay, when we say little to no manipulation, your ends absolutely have to be protected. For Silk Press Paul Mitchell clarifying shampoo. Okay, so here's what Angel does. For my Silk Press Paul Mitchell clarifying shampoo, moisturizing shampoo, and then deep conditioner. What kind of deep conditioner, Angel? And then before braids, anything from Marshalls that's moisturizing. I also do the ApHogee. I know what you mean, Angel. I also do the ApHogee protein treatment once a year. Jocelyn, let me ask you this. So here's what Angel does, right? On a consistent basis, Angel is using, it sounds like, on a consistent basis, Angel is using moisture focused shampoos and conditioners. And once a year, she gives her hair a protein treatment. We're talking about the 2-step protein treatment, Angel. Facebook, YouTube, can any of the Facebook or YouTube girls, can any of the face, I don't care about the brand. I want y'all to know that. Listen to me. I have brands that are my favorite that I think work better than some. Sure. Can I cuss on here? The other girls the other day would not let me cuss on here. Can I cuss on here? I do not care about the brand. Okay? I care about what the product is supposed to be doing to your hair. Now, let's wrap up the consistency piece. Okay? Here's what consistency should look. Yes, I can cuss. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I could care less about the brand. I care about what the product is actually doing for your hair. I care about is the brand being honest to you and doing in the product exactly what it said it's going to do. That's what I care about. A silicone deep conditioner. Angel, I know that you're in New Jersey. Angel, I know that you're in New Jersey, and I could listen. I I want us both to be able to trust your stylist. Okay? I want us both to be able to trust your stylist. But I will here's what I'll say, Angel. If you can I say all that I'm thinking as a professional right now, Angel? Can I say all that I'm thinking as a professional right now, Angel? If you'll allow me to on this live, then I'm gonna think out loud as a professional. If you don't want me to do that, then that's fine. Okay. Here's what we're here. Yes, please to cussing, or yes, please. Y'all know I love me a good cuss word. Yes, please to cussing, or yes, please to saying what I'm thinking as a professional. I ask for permission for two things. Yes, I understand you want to hear it, Jocelyn, but this is Angel's critique, right? I'm not finna do that unless she allows me to. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking, Angel. Justice said yes to everything. Here's what I'm thinking, Angel. There's no way on God's green earth you could be getting away with not trimming your hair only once a year, which means that you're not trimming it for a full on 11 months. There's no way that your hair is in its optimal condition. And I'm not saying that your hair is not okay. I'm not saying that your hair is not growing, and I'm not saying that you are not retaining length. I'm not saying any of those things. But what I am asking myself is this at its optimal health? Is this the best it can get? Is this the best that we can do? That's what I'm thinking right now, right? And in my mind, there's no way that that's possible if you're only using protein once a year, and for sure using silicone deep conditioner frequently. Silicone deep conditioners, because silicone has, and I'm imagining it's a silicone mix, right? Because silicone is a humectant blocker, right? And a humectant blocker does what? It don't even matter. Jocelyn said, Jocelyn loves her a good test. Okay. And sometimes we do a test in here, and I'll ask you ladies for us to teach each other. Jocelyn is over here asking right now, can we know her hair texture, density, and hair type? But what are humectant blockers? Yes, silicone. But what does that sound like it does? Silicone is used primarily in serums, in heat protectants, sometimes in your leave-in conditioners. Silicones are humectant blockers. Why are they humectant blockers? And I bet, Angel, your hair is nice and shiny. I imagine your hair is nice and shiny. Angel, Jocelyn, Angel said she don't know that anyway. So there we go. Angel, listen, Angel, I don't know everything, but I know everything about what I know. I'm about to tell you about your hair right now. Humectant blockers block moisture from being absorbed into the hair. Okay, prevents hair from reverting. Okay. Humectant blockers block moisture from your hair, which is why I imagine, Angel, we are heavy on moisture-focused products, right? And why we only do the protein once a year, because you likely understand that protein is essential, but because your hair often feels dry, we're heavy on moisture-focused products. I'm going to tell you, Angel, in part, the reason why our hair is so thirsty, the reason why we feel like we have to lean into moisture as much as we do, is because you're already using a deep conditioner, a conditioning product that blocks any humectant that you are applying to your hair after you use it. Okay? Prevents hydration from entering the hair shaft. 100%, Nelly, right? And so if your hair feels dry and thirsty, you are going to, Angel is in this deep conditioner for 4 months now. It must be because I'm not sleeping in my conditioner. I'm not saying you're doing this for real, hypothetically speaking, right? And now Angel's sleeping in that conditioner, because ain't no way. My hair feels silky and smooth right after I use it. But I imagine 2 days, 3 days after using it, the hair feels dry again, right? I imagine it's twofold. It's the humectant blocker, the silicone, right? It's the humectant blocker, making it harder for any moisture to penetrate your hair. So even when you wet it to get ready to wash it, the water on wash day it's not working at its optimum, right? It's not performing at its best either. Okay, and clarifying shampoos are amazing, right? Paul Mitchell is one of my favorites, right? Paul Mitchell is my favorite clarifying shampoo. So the clarifying shampoo is helpful. Following up with a moisturizing shampoo is helpful. But if you're going to be using a moisture blocker as your conditioner, then anything you do to your hair afterward is not going to be conducive to making sure your hair stays flexible. Okay. Hey, Patricia. Okay, that's not going to be conducive to you being able, to make sure your hair stays flexible. If you want your hair to stay flexible, there's a couple of things that we need to be doing. Okay, so I am going to say to you, Angel, again, I'm thinking out loud as a professional. If you're the one who does your silk presses, I shouldn't use it, or not as often. I would not use it as often as you do. If you're a straight hair natural, excuse me. Let me think about this. If you're a straight hair natural, I would probably use a silicone to keep the shine, right? And it is a way to help make sure. It is also a way to help make sure that it helps repel heat, right? So let me think about this. All right. So if you're using the silicone mix, I would probably use the silicone mix maybe I would probably do it once every 3 months, and I would deep condition with it. Unless and I would be using the regular silicone mix. Excuse me. I don't believe in deep conditioners, so I'm never going to suggest to you a deep conditioner, but I would suggest that you use the regular silicone mix conditioner and deep condition with it, right? Which is the process of adding the element of heat to your conditioning process. That's what I would suggest. I'm not saying don't use it at all, because there are benefits. That's why your hair is so shiny, right? But I would use it less. 100%, I would use it less. And I would switch it, okay? I would switch it for my favorite moisture focused conditioner. Okay, you want to know what my favorite moisture focused conditioner is? We'll talk about it in the next segment. Hey, boss. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. If I were you, I would be firing my braider, and I would be firing the stylist that does my sew-in. Because if you don't trust the stylist to do your sew-in, and the stylist that you do trust you only see once a year, it's very likely that the stylist that does your sew-in is not telling you when you need to trim, is not either not trimming your hair or not telling you that you need to trim your hair before you put it into a protective style. Okay? I would fire the person doing my sew-in, or at least let me say this. I would consider firing the person that does my sew-in, and I would also consider firing the person that does my box braids. Okay, that does my braids. Maybe not because you don't trust them, maybe not because you don't trust them to do the actual trim, but if they're not telling you, their hands in your hair, if they're not telling you what to look for, when you're approaching the time that you need to trim your hair, if they're not telling you that, oh, okay, you need to trim, it's been how long since you had your last trim, you need to be trimming your hair. If they're not asking those questions, if they don't care about that, they likely don't have your hair's best interest at heart. Okay. And that's not to say that they're not good at their job in terms of styling, but if they don't have your hair's best interest at heart, what are we hiring them for? Right? Here's what I would consider, and this is for anybody, okay? For anybody who doesn't know, who is unsure about their relationship with their stylist right now, here's what I want you to consider. Because if you're on this live and you're asking me as a professional questions, and you have a stylist that you're consistently hiring to do your hair, something ain't right. Okay, I'm over here giving you the game for free $3.99. Whole time you're putting money and line in their pockets for service. I don't think that's fair. I digress. Okay, I'd have a different kind of conversation with them. But before you fire them, at least give them a chance to do better for you, right? So if you don't be having conversations with your stylist, if they're not putting you on to when you should be doing X, Y, or Z, here's what you do the next chance you get. And this could be a text message. This could be the next time you go and sit in their chair and sit with them. But you have to give them a chance to course correct, right? So the next time you speak with your stylist, the next time you sit in their chair, you say, yo, maybe not yo, but you say something like this. Look, Keisha, I'm trying to get my hair longer, Keisha. Just before she get the braiding and sewing shit in, okay? I'm trying to get my hair longer, Keisha. Can you help me? And Keisha gonna say one or two things. Keisha gonna say, girl, I don't do that. Girl, your hair, or she's gonna excuse it. Okay? She's either going to she's gonna tell you she don't do it, she's gonna excuse it, or she's gonna say, oh, girl, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for you to say that. I got you. Here's what you do, X, Y, or Z. Now, the fact that you had to mention to Keisha that that's what you want in order for her to start speaking up, I don't love that. But if Keisha do one of those two things, she either tell you no, that's not what she do, that's not what she's good at. Hey, boss. Or Keisha tells you, gives you an excuse as to why you don't need your hair to be longer. What you doing with Keisha? The stylist that did my sewing told me that trims are not her expertise. You don't have to be an expert. Who didn't somebody on here earlier today say that they be trimming their hair themselves? Was it Angel? Somebody. Didn't somebody on here say that they trim their hair themselves? Was it Angel? Thank you, Justice. Okay. If you're a stylist that you tell that you're trying to hit a goal, right? If she tells you no or gives you an excuse as to why you don't need to be reaching that goal, she's done. Brooke is, I think it's Brooke, right? Brooke said she trims her hair herself. Brooke ain't no expert. Brooke might be an expert at trimming her hair herself. She might be an expert at trimming her own hair, but Brooke ain't no expert and she gets it done. Ms. Barksdale, what I think you should do? Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, not Angel. Brooke. It was Brooke. I'm sorry, Angel. Bye, Keisha. Yeah, Christina. Christina's gone now. Yeah, get her up out of here. I'm over here doing this for free. I'm about to put Angel on. And I'm going to do it for free. Don't you think somebody you're paying should be doing more than me? I think that whoever you're paying should be doing more than me. Okay? So your trim schedule, in general, okay? Your trim schedule in general should be as needed. You should only be trimming your hair if your hair needs to be trimmed. Okay? Because listen, you could come to me. Hold on one second. Because let's say a stylist is suggesting Angel goes to someone else. Angel's new hairstylist tells her that she should be trimming her hair every 8 weeks, every 2 months. Okay? But I'm going to show you this. Let's say when Angel's 2 months is here, let's say Angel's hair looks like this at month 2. Should she be getting her hair trimmed? Hey, Miss Caroline. If Angel comes in at month 2 with her hair looking like this, should she be getting her hair trimmed? If this is how she comes in for service, should she be getting her hair trimmed? Thank you, Ms. Barksdale. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay, thank you, Angel. So now what? For a stylist, if a stylist only does what you tell them to do, or if a stylist is so rigid that they don't see that this is healthy hair from root to tip. This is healthy hair from root to tip. Why would we be trimming this? If you are constantly cutting your hair, even when it's not needed, that is going to be counterproductive to your length retention goals. Okay? That is going to be counterproductive to your length retention goals. Which is why I say you do it as needed. But at the very least, okay? At the very least, sit with a healthy hair care professional every 3 months so that he or she can tell you, okay, you're doing good here. Here's where you could improve. And this is how much longer you can go before you have to do your next trim. This client comes into Texture Press. She sits with me. She has her last trim was 2 months ago. I'm going to tell her, let's see what you can do with another 2 months. And now that's how long between her last trim and the next one. If I tell her she can go 2 months and we'll see where her hair is at, right? If you've been able to maintain your hair's wholeness from root to tip in the last 2 months, whatever you've been doing, keep doing. And I'll see you in another 2 months. Now, Angel, that's 4 months since her last trim. That's 4 months since her last trim. And if she comes to me, and after that her hair her hair looks, let's see. And after that her hair looks like this, right? After 4 months her hair looks like this. And I have to go in and trim 1.5 to 2 inches after 4 months, then I'll tell her, all right, 3 months is your cutoff. Right? If after 4 months she comes in and her hair is looking like this, and we have to cut off an inch, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, I'll tell her, all right, 3 months. 3 months is pretty much where we cap it at. Okay. But if it still looks good at month 4, I'll tell her, let's see if we can go another month and a half. Right? Your trim schedule should be catered to where you currently are, but at the very least, every 3 months, sit in a professional's chair so that we can tell you how well you're doing, and or how to keep up what good it is that you're doing for your hair. Okay? So your trim schedule should be is subjective to where you are and what you're doing with your hair, because there might be a season in your life where you come to me every 2 months with your hair looking like this. There might be a season in your life where every 2 months you're coming to Texture Press and your hair looks like this. Okay? Then we have to have a different conversation, because then your trim schedule might look like every 2 months, but it's only because you're not listening. I promise you, it's only because you ain't listening. If this is what your hair is looking like every 2 months, I promise you it's because you're not listening. Okay? And at Texture Press, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that dance but 1 or 2 times before we have to part ways. Okay? So your trim schedule is subjective to what you're doing with your hair. Now, Angel, how do we make it possible for you to go 4, 5, 6, maybe the longest I've seen, and the hair is still healthy, is 8 months. Exactly. There we go, Angel. My recommendation is to trim every 3 to 4 months or as needed. 100%. If you want to hit your length goal, you have to put distance between your trim schedules. Right? But in order for you to put distance between your trim schedules, your hair has to be what, Jocelyn? What's the B in CBD? What's the B in CBD? There are 3 simple steps to retaining more length. The first is consistency. What's the B in CBD, Jocelyn? Balanced. 100%. 100%. Now, first of all, let me ask you this, Angel. Did you learn something new? Have we learned something new since we've been here? If we're learning something new, do me a favor. Either comment the word length or send this live to 2 people that you think are up right now. Okay? Either comment the word length or send this live to 2 people that you think are up right now. Okay? If we hit our 30, y'all can get the free guide. Okay? Now, how do we create balance for our hair? When I'm talking about balance, I'm talking about balance with your shampoo, conditioners, and leave-in conditioners, okay? There is a way to create balance. So we are going to say that Angel's hair, thank you, Christina. We are going to say that Angel's hair is medium hair type, right? So it's not fine, and it's not coarse. It's not fine like my pinky. It's not fine and skinny like my pinky. It's not thick and coarse like my thumb. Excuse me. Okay. We're going to say that Angel has medium hair. And Angel uses silicone, which is a humectant blocker, but she is heavy on her moisture focused products because the humectant blocker is doing its job. Okay? The humectant blocker is doing its job. The moisture blocker is doing its job. It's blocking the moisture. So Angel is heavy on her moisture focused products, except for around when she goes to get her trim and she'll do a protein treatment at home. Okay? We're going to let Christina and Jocelyn, okay? We're going to let Christina and Jocelyn give Angel a 30-day regimen, okay? We're going to let Christina and Jocelyn give Angel a 30-day regimen. Here's what Jocelyn and Christina is going to do. Nobody else, okay? And everyone can participate, but I only want an answer from Christina and Jocelyn, okay? Angel has medium hair type, excuse me. And because she's a straight hair natural now, right, after doing that for a while, her texture, her curl is a little bit, yeah, I got you. The hair type is medium. It's not fine. It's not coarse. It's medium. I was about to put my middle finger up. It's not fine. It's not coarse. It's a medium hair type. Okay, Christina? It's not fine. It's not coarse. It's a medium hair type. Okay? And Christina has coily hair, right? Christina has coily hair. We have to remember that it's currently the winter. It's currently the winter. Christina, Jocelyn, it's currently winter. For her medium hair, coily hair, give Angel a 30-day regimen, right? Remember, in order for you to give her a 30-day regimen, you have to think about how many times in a month we're supposed to be washing our hair. How many times in a 30-day period are we supposed to be shampooing and conditioning our hair? Jocelyn and Christina, please do me a favor. Give Angel what she's going to use on her first wash day, and then the other wash days in that month, whether you think that she should be shampooing and conditioning her hair three times, twice, 4 times, more than that, whatever that might look like, okay? And you have to break it down by wash day 1, etc. Okay, she's going to use this on wash day 1. She's going to use this on the next wash day, etc. Okay, she has coily hair, which means her hair texture, is wound. Her hair is coily. Her hair type is medium. Okay, we're going to give the girls a full-on minute, Angel, and then they're going to help you out. Christina, Jocelyn, whenever you're ready to put your answer in the comments, you have a minute. Okay? Here, let's put a timer on here. Okay, we got about 45 seconds now. Okay, 45 seconds to give Angel a regimen. And while we wait for Jocelyn and Christina, I have suggestions, Angel. So again, the next time you go and sit with the person that does your sew-ins for sure, right? If I were you, I would text, or the next time you sit with them, text or email. The next time you sit with them, let them know that you have length goals, right? And let him or her tell you no. Right? A lot of times we just assume that they're not good at, that a stylist is not good at something, or we assume that they can't do something. All right, ladies. All right, ladies, let's see your answer. Jocelyn, Christina, let's see your answer. But let your stylist know that what your goal is, and let him or her help you. You know, let him or her reveal to you that they're not in a position to help you. Either way, you should not be spending your hard-earned money and your time in the salon with a stylist that does not have your hair's best interest at heart, right? Your hair might not be falling out when you take that sewing out, but is it at its optimal health? Is this the best that it can do? Okay, so Christina says, first wash day, a clarifying shampoo followed up with a moisturizing shampoo, and then a protein-focused conditioner. Tell us what leave-in conditioner she's going to use, Christina. The next 7 to 10 days should be a moisture-focused shampoo, and then a protein-focused conditioner with a moisture-focused leave-in conditioner. Christina, we're only shampooing I imagine I cut you off, right? Okay. So this is good, right? Even if it were for the 2 wash days, this is still good. The first the first wash day, excuse me, this is Jocelyn's suggestion, okay? Jocelyn says a moisture focused shampoo on this first wash day, a moisture, and then you deep condition with moisture on this wash day with a protein focused leave-in conditioner. On the second wash day, and Jocelyn is suggesting that you shampoo and condition your hair 3 times in a month, right? So that's on average about every 10 days. The first wash day, moisture focused shampoo, then deep condition with a moisture focused conditioner, and then use a little bit of protein with a protein focused leave-in conditioner. On the second wash day, you're going to use a protein focused shampoo with a moisture focused conditioner, and then you're going to use a protein focused leave-in conditioner. On wash day 3, you're going to use a moisture focused shampoo, a moisture focused conditioner, and then a protein focused leave-in conditioner. I absolutely love this regimen. Jocelyn, I absolutely love this regimen. Okay, starting with a clarifying shampoo is helpful, Christina, and then making sure that she always follows up with a moisturizing shampoo is great advice. Because she hasn't been using protein as regularly as we would like for her, especially for medium hair, right? Using a protein focused conditioner is going to be essential. So I love that. The following wash day, using the same kind of regimen, and then using a protein focused leave-in conditioner, I also love that. I'm assuming Christina wanted for her last wash day. Okay, Christina, let's advise Angel for the last wash day. Let's see what your last wash day looks like. Angel, I used to be in the city, but now I work out of Middletown, New York. Angel said, Jocelyn, can you DM me? Angel, you're gonna write this down. You ready? Let's see what Christina has. Let's see what Christina has for you as well. Because you might be able to use both of these. And then we can let a girl choose. But Angel, I used to be in the city. I used to be on 34th Street, but now I'm up in Middletown, New York, which is not far from. If you're in Jersey and you've ever been to Woodbury Commons, the new salon is about 15 minutes from Woodbury Commons. Here, let me screenshot this because then I'm gonna send it to. Okay, so Christina wants Angel, as we reverse and handle 2 different things simultaneously. Christina is suggesting a clarifying shampoo on the first wash day, followed up by a moisturizing shampoo and then a protein-focused conditioner. 10 days follow-up with a moisturizing shampoo, a protein-focused conditioner, and then a moisture-focused leave-in conditioner. And then on the very last wash day, a protein-focused shampoo, a moisturizing conditioner, and then a protein-focused leave-in conditioner. Christina, I do love this regimen. I would suggest, though, on one of these wash days where we use a moisture-focused conditioner, I would suggest deep conditioning. Okay, I would 100% suggest deep conditioning because, okay, Angel, every 7 to 10 days is not realistic for you. I can 100% get on board with that, but you still have to. If wash day happens let's say it happens every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, you're still going to want to take 2 of these suggested wash days and do what is suggested to you. Okay. I can understand that every 7 to 10 days is not realistic. I get that. Okay. But if we're doing every 2 to 3 weeks a wash day, you still want to follow this regimen. You still want to follow this regimen. The first wash day, a moisture focused shampoo. I would probably start with a clarifying shampoo, like Christina said. The first one. Okay, the first wash day, a clarifying shampoo, always followed up by a moisturizing or a hydrating shampoo. To Jocelyn's point, you're going to deep condition with a moisture-focused conditioner, not a deep conditioner, We don't believe in deep conditioners. Tell her why, Jocelyn. And then use a protein focused leave-in conditioner. Okay. We also do not want Angel doing what anymore, even if it's just once a year. Angel is not doing what anymore. If she follows Textured Press's advice, she's not doing what anymore. And anybody can answer this. Here's why we don't believe in deep conditioners, Angel. We value our money, and deep conditioners are more money. Okay? You are actually going to get more benefit out of deep conditioning. Not that part too, Angel, that part too. But you're going to get more money out of deep conditioning, which is the process of adding the element of heat. You'll get much more benefit out of your conditioner than using a more dense, deep conditioner that costs you more. There we go, Christina. Christina, your classmate. Your classmate putting you on, Angel. Your classmate putting you on, Angel. Do what Christina said, please. We are no longer doing protein treatments at home because you don't know if you don't even know if you need it. You don't have to do a treatment. You can deep condition with protein. You can deep condition with a protein focused conditioner. This is why we don't believe in deep conditioners. We value our money, and deep conditioners are more money, but not more effective. If the brand couldn't get the original version, the regular conditioner right, why give them more money? Deep conditioners are more expensive than conditioners, and they usually hold less product in the bottle. Why give the brand more money on a deep conditioner when they couldn't even get the regular conditioner right? Okay? And deep conditioning is the process of adding the element of heat. We don't believe in deep conditioners. Okay? You're going to get more out of your conditioning if you deep condition and add heat than you would using a more dense conditioner. Dense conditioner usually just means that more of it is just sitting on top of the hair, not penetrating the hair, allowing the hair to be more flexible for longer periods of time. Okay? I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And I don't know everything, but I know everything about what I know. That's how I was able to tell Angel, I know your hair is shiny and thirsty. I know your hair is shiny and thirsty. Not for nothing. That green shampoo and conditioner that they sell at our favorite grocery store. Hear ye, hear ye. That green and the white bottle. That green bottle and the white bottle shampoo and conditioner that they sell at our favorite grocery store does the same thing. Make your hair shiny and dry. Okay, Angel, I'll send you the regimen after this. When we get off this live, I'll send you the regimen. I screenshotted it for you. I'll send you the regimen, Angel. Okay? We are no longer doing treatments at home because you don't even know if you need the actual treatment at home. And also, excuse me. Excuse me. What's GF? What's GF, Jocelyn? My brain immediately went to girlfriend, and that's no context. Can I get the regimen, Eb? No, that's not your regimen. Kay, what you want the regimen for? That's not your regimen. Do you use silicone mix, Kay? What about Garnier Fructis? Jocelyn, don't piss me off on this live. I know, okay, Garnier Fructis, but what about it? Please don't piss me off on this live. Okay, you don't need the regimen, bro. This is not even your scenario. Yo, do what I've been telling you. Yo, Kay want to do everything except what I told her to do. Kay is my little baby that don't listen. Okay? Kay is my little baby that don't listen. No. Who's our favorite grocery store? Who? What's the black? What's the black girl grocery store? What's the black girl grocery store? And if y'all don't get this, I'm gonna be so mad, bro. What's the black girl grocery store? Grocery store. Okay, your ass don't be listening. I told you not to go back to that lady, didn't I? I told you not to go back to that lady because you're gonna revert. She's gonna reverse all of the hard work we did. Did you listen? Don't get me started up on this damn live. What's the black girl grocery store? I know y'all know who it is. I know y'all know who it is. What's the black girl grocery store? Y'all don't know this? Y'all don't know Trigerius? Trigerius Joseph? Y'all don't rock with Trigerius Joseph? Is it Tredarius? It's Tredarius. Y'all don't rock with Tredarius Joseph? I don't want to hear it, Kay. Not right now. That is a good one, Angel. That is a good one. That is a good one. I love that one. I love that one. Tredarius Joseph. Not the how you get to a beauty supply store, Ariel? Y'all rock with TJ? Y'all don't rock with TJ? Y'all don't get y'all groceries from TJ? Y'all don't get y'all little seasonal snacks from TJ? Y'all don't get y'all little bouquet of flowers from TJ? Tredarius Joseph? Y'all don't go there? I can't believe this. Christina's back now. Christina know what it is. She picking up what I'm putting down. Y'all don't go there? Do y'all remember like 7 years ago when their tea tree shampoo and conditioner was super popular? Do y'all remember that? Yeah, exactly. TJ, not Max. Tredarius Joseph. Y'all don't know them? Yeah, that tea tree shampoo and conditioner. Okay. Angel, you've never been? Girl, you like snacks? I know them children like snacks. Angel, you like snacks? You ain't got one next to you. Had the people in a chokehold. Am I lying, Jocelyn? Yo, that tea tree shampoo and conditioner had the girls in a chokehold, and it would piss me. I would know that you used that shampoo and conditioner soon as you took your hat off at the door of the salon. I could tell that that's the shampoo and conditioner that you use. Before you hit the threshold of the salon, I could tell you was in them people's store using them people's shampoo and conditioner, and come on, sit down so I can fix it. Their face products and their body products too. But Angel, if you like snacks, girl, that's the place for some snacks. The food is made for people that don't know how to cook but like the host. You know what I'm saying? I personally like TJ's food. Not everybody's there with it, but we could all agree the snacks hit every time. Okay? Now that I just took brownies out the oven, you think you're better than us? Because I smelled the chocolate as soon as I read that. Do you think you're better than us? Ooh, girl, a soft, gooey brownie with some red wine right now. Wow. Okay, let's get back on track. Sorry. This live is an hour and a half so far, and I've only gotten through C and halfway through B. Listen, let me tell you why B is important, okay? Balance is important. Balance is important to making sure that your hair strand stays whole from root to tip. Top 3 snacks from Trader Joe's. Ooh, they're top 3 snacks from Trader Joe's. Their brownie, their sea salt brownie. Their ginger thin cookies, and that damn, when they have it in stock, that damn chocolate mousse cake, girl, I could go through boxes of that mousse cake. Oh, the fact that they don't have it is crazy. But you asking me for just 3 is crazy. That mousse cake is good, but they also have an ice cream sandwich. I don't love their regular ice cream, Angel, but they have a ice cream sandwich, a cookie ice cream sandwich. So it's It's vanilla ice cream, some smooth vanilla ice cream between two cookies, two soft baked cookies, okay? Between two soft baked cookies, and the rim, pause, the rim got chocolate chips around it. Now that's one that's my fourth favorite, but that mousse cake, especially since it's only seasonal, that mousse cake gonna do it to me every time. Okay? Trader Joe's gonna give you a good snack. That sea salt, the caramelized dip onion. You know what else I like? The buffalo chicken dip from TJ's. Not so passionate. All right, don't go, Angel. Don't go. That buffalo chicken dip, when you heat it up, I put it on my charcuterie boards. And I get the bulk. When I make a charcuterie board, I'll post some pictures a little bit later. But when I make a charcuterie board, the majority of the things that I put on my charcuterie board, I get from Trader Joe's. Get it right from Trader Joe's. Right from Trader Joe's. They also got this red pepper dip. Girl, don't get me started. We got to get back. See, you see how easy it is. I have the brain of a mouse. Okay, you've never been, Chanel. Ebony is clearly a foodie. Wow. On this here fine Friday, that's how you do me. But I will say, I will travel for some food. I'll do just about anything for some food. And not even gluttonous. I ain't got to eat to the last drop or nothing. I love me the food. Love me some food. What cheese trio? Okay, we'll get back in. The balance is essential because of this. Okay, Angel's one of the newer ones here. We're gonna talk to Angel first. Everybody, just about everybody else on this live, been here before. We know the ins and outs of what I'm about to say. Okay, Angel, you want to see my demonstration? Not look what I can do. I'm sure you hear that enough at home. But look, you want to see my demonstration? I can demonstrate to you why protein is essential to your regimen and why implementing it more often is essential to your regimen. You want to see my demo? Here's why moisture is important. While Angel considers whether or not my demo is worth it to her. Okay. Here's what we know about moisture. Moisture does what for your hair? It creates a nice lubricant on the outside of your hair, so that this way, when a comb, a brush, tar, or fingers are sliding through your hair, there's a glide there, right? There's no resistance. That's why you want your hair to be moisturized. You also want moisture because you want your hair to be flexible. Okay, when hair in the wintertime, hair is less flexible, right? If you're overutilizing moisture, if you're not using enough moisture, this is what I should have said, excuse me. If you're not using enough moisture, if we're in the winter months and it's cold and it's dry out, it makes your hair less flexible, right? And hair that is less flexible and more stiff is easy to do what? Jocelyn, you a girl after my own heart. If hair is less flexible and more stiff because it's dry and or brittle, it does what? It's easy to do what? There we go, Nelly. There we go, Brooke. There we go, Patricia. It's going to do what? Break, snap, okay? Crack. There we go. Break, snap, crack. Okay? And that is counterproductive to our length retention goals. Okay? Which is why moisture is important. You want your hair to be flexible. Excuse me. So using moisture-focused shampoos, deep conditioning with moisture-focused products is going to be essential. Okay? Going to be essential. You want to make sure that your hair is flexible. But if your hair is so flexible that it becomes flimsy, then what? If your hair is so flexible that it becomes flimsy, then what? If you are constantly using moisture, then what? Your hair won't hold a curl, right? If your hair is flimsy and it doesn't have any structure, if you're utilizing moisture, your hair becomes flimsy. It becomes a lot more dull, right? If your hair is not moisturized, it's easy to break or snap because there isn't any structure there. It's way too flimsy. If your hair is over moisturized and it's too flimsy, it's hard to detangle. It's hard to detangle hair that doesn't have, that's mushy. Okay? I had a client a couple of maybe about early last year, was going through a lot in her life, decided that she wanted to go high lift blonde. Her hair was over processed and mushy. Okay? Over processed and mushy. Easy to snap, has no elasticity, doesn't hold a curl. It's super weak, but also, like Nelly says, okay, we'll talk about what Nelly says in just a second. Here's what also happens, Angel, right? If you're constantly using moisture, here's what happens. The older your hair gets, Angel, right? The older your hair gets, the more wear and tear it goes through, the more it loses protein or keratin. Hair is made up primarily of protein. Another word for protein is keratin. Hair is made up of those fibers, right? Keratin is a fiber, protein is a fiber. The older your hair gets, Angel, so the longer it gets, the more wear and tear, right? The more you're rubbing your hair on your pillow, the more you're brushing, combing, detangling it, the more you're braiding it, the more you're styling it, the more you're straightening it, right? The more protein or keratin you lose. Okay, so the more protein or keratin you lose, the more nicks, dips, and grooves of protein loss you're going to experience. Okay, chunks of protein or keratin out of your hair, nicks, dips, and grooves on the hair strand. But Angel, right? Angel feels the need to consistently use moisture. She feels like her hair is always dry, so she's always using moisture. But simultaneously, what's happening, right? At the same time, because that simultaneously is whooping my ass right now. What's happening at the same time is she's also still losing keratin. She's getting nicks and dips and grooves, breakage, right, in the hair strand. Here's what happens. If she is consistently just using moisture, then she is just coating hair that has chunks of it missing. Chunks of protein loss, chunks of keratin loss. She's just coating over the nicks and dips and grooves. Okay? So, Christina, when Angel comes to you at brunch and y'all get to talking and kikiing and Angel is complimenting Christina's hair, she's complimenting her silk press. When did you get that silk press? And Christina's like, girl, this silk press is 3 weeks old. Angel's like, well, how you do that? Christina's like, oh, I created balance for my hair. And Angel's like, I'm intrigued. Tell me. Because my hair always feels dry. So tell me. What does balance look like? Balance looks like using protein, okay? Using protein, shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner to fill in the gaps or holes of keratin that you lose. The older your hair gets, the more wear and tear you put on your hair, the more protein focused, the more we have balance of protein in our regimen. That protein goes and fills in any nicks and dips and grooves that you might have on your hair strand, okay? Once the protein is replaced that you've lost because it's older, because we've got more wear and tear, it makes it easier for your moisture-focused products to create a barrier over a hair strand that is actually whole and no longer has nicks and dips and grooves in the hair strand, making it feel more rough, okay? That's why the balance between moisture and protein is essential. Because if you want your hair to be moisturized, if you want your hair to stay moisturized, you cannot have chunks and holes and pieces of keratin missing in your hair strand, because that weakens it and makes it consistently feel rough because there's gaps in the hair strand. That's what you're feeling. Oftentimes, that's what you're feeling, that protein loss, right? So if we're only doing protein once a year, okay, if we're only doing protein once a year, then we're only replenishing that loss. We're only repairing, right, broken keratin bonds once a year. That means all year, for 11 months, Angel's hair is fighting to survive, especially if we're straight hair naturals, especially if we're using Kanekalon hair to braid against it, especially if we're using needle and thread, okay, in our sew-ins, especially if we're using needle and thread in our sew-ins, that also help create breakage in the hair strand, also help create breakage in the protein or keratin bonds. That is why protein is essential to your moisture retention. But moisture is also essential, right? If you're using a silicone product, that is doing the opposite of what you want, which is creating long stints of moisture retention. You want length retention? Retain your hair's strength and softness. Okay? Angel, did you like my demo? Did you like my presentation? Nelly, did you like my presentation? I know you saw it yesterday, but did you like it today? And usually this is the part where you guys get the guide, right? That shows you when you should be using both moisture and protein, especially in the winter, excuse me. We didn't hit our 35, excuse me, we didn't hit our 30. We didn't hit our 30 people on this live, so we won't get the guide today, but maybe we'll get it tomorrow. Angel, you are only saying that because you're a mom. Was it really good, Nelly? Okay, good. Okay. Hey, Veronica and Justice was in here a couple nights ago cutting up. Wasn't y'all? Veronica said she was behaving, but you was egging Justice on. Okay, but that's why moisture, the balance between moisture and protein is essential. Okay, Angel, I encourage you ladies, use moisture and protein every single wash day. Whether you give your hair protein by way of shampoo, conditioner, or leave-in conditioner, whether you give your hair moisture by way of shampoo, conditioner, or leave-in conditioner is contingent on a couple of things, which is why I created the guide. But once you get access to the guide, it will be significantly easier for you to manage your hair on your own. You can still get some shine, because I'm not saying that you should not be using the silicone at all, but you definitely want to use it way less, okay? Okay. Are you currently offering hair consultations? So currently I am only offering consultations for our Patreon members. So once you join the Patreon membership at any paid level, right? So we have the vault level. If you're not in New York and you want access to like replays of the lives, replays of the classes, if you want access to exclusive classes that I do just for Patreons, you join the Patreon membership. It's $3. It's $4. It's $4. And that also gets you access to a virtual consultation, a free virtual consultation. Okay. Once you join the membership and have access to all of the lives, you can also then book a free 15-minute virtual consultation with the Patreon membership. Okay. But that's why having both moisture and protein is essential. Okay, Angel? And I do not want you, my preference is for you not to be doing treatments at home, because once you start to integrate more protein regularly, right? Once you're consistent with your protein and your moisture, then you should not have to even do a protein treatment. Okay. You're so very welcome, Nelly. Okay, let's get to the D of CBD. We don't have time to do it now, but yesterday or the day before yesterday, one of those lives, I gave you 3 scenarios a couple of days ago. And that one is on the Patreon platform too. The live from a couple of days ago, giving you trigger words so that this way you know what products are protein focused, giving you feature ingredients so that this way you know like what a picture of protein on a package looks like, what a visual of protein focused products looks like. I did that too, and that's again all on the Patreon membership. I actually just posted that video early this morning, 12 o'clock or maybe 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know, one of them two, but it's up there. Excuse me. But let's get to the D of CBD. Okay, so CBD, in your 3 simple steps to retain length, it requires consistency, it requires balance, and a healthy diet. Okay. you are in a much better position to retain more length, right? To experience, excuse me, you're in a much better position to retain more length and experience a nice growth spurt consistently if you are feeding your body well, right? So although we love the brownies, leaning out from the sugar, leaning out from the carbs, and leaning into eating more protein, leaning in to drinking more water is going to get you significantly closer to your length retention goals than if you are just mashing banana, mashing avocado, and putting it in your hair. Okay? Eat your nutrients. We all know, or I'm hopeful that we all know, that a lack of vitamin D, a lack of iron, right? A lack of vitamin E, a lack of vitamin B, a lack of potassium, a lack of magnesium, a lack of zinc, a lack of copper, a lack of can all directly affect your hormones, excuse me, which directly affect your hair. They can all directly affect your hair if you're not giving your body enough nutrients. Okay? I'd much rather you eat your nutrients. I'd much rather you eat your vitamins. I'd much rather you eat your collagen. You can get a nice amount of collagen from carrots and cabbage. Okay. I'd much rather you, hey boss, I'd much rather you eat your nutrients than take a supplement. But if anything, right? Hey, Chrissy, if you're not getting enough vitamins, minerals, and the nutrients that your body needs to support your hair health, to support your hair growth, then take a supplement, right? I would rather you not take a multivitamin, okay, because there's not enough of any of it in a multivitamin. Sit with your physician, talk with your PCP, let them know that you are concerned about your hair. Tell a little white lie. I feel like my hair is not growing, when really it's like, yeah, I'm not retaining length, but tell a little white lie. Tell them, I feel like my hair is not growing and I feel like it's because of my diet. What vitamins or minerals am I deficient in to help my hair flourish? Because if your body is fighting for its life, right? If your body is fighting to survive, if you are dehydrated, y'all said I could curse, right? Y'all said I could curse. If you are dehydrated and your body is fighting for its life, your body could give a shit about giving your overflow of moisture. You're over what there's no overflow to give your hair. Your body could give a shit about your hair if it's just trying to survive. Okay? Drink your water. If you are not currently drinking 30 ounces of water every single day, I want you to commit to drinking 20. If you're not drinking 30 ounces of water every single day, I want you to commit to drinking 24 ounces of water every single day for the next 30 days. Angel got 2 children. I'm sure that Angel makes sure them babies drink enough water. Whole time, mama's parched. I love when women who wanted to be moms are moms, but oftentimes that means that you and how you take care of yourself falls by the wayside. Okay? You have to take care of yourself. You have to lead by example. If you want your kids to drink more water, you drink more water. If you want your kids to eat less sweets, you eat less sweets. If you want your hair to flourish, you eat less sweets. You eat less carbs, you eat more protein, and you drink more water. You be consistent with taking your iron supplements. You be consistent with taking your vitamin D. I can't tell you how many women already know that they are vitamin D deficient. They come and sit in my chair. I'm looking at the breakage, smack dab in the middle of their head. I am telling them exactly what's wrong with their hair, and they say, oh, I haven't taken my supplements in probably 4 months. Don't piss me off on this Fine Hair Friday, okay? Angel says, stay on my business because you're right. Angel, I've been doing this for 20 years. If I don't know anything else, I know you. See, Chrissy. And Chrissy ain't got no kids, right, Chrissy? Chrissy. Why are they not taking this? Rochelle, where you been at? Rochelle, where you been at? Did you miss this whole live? We're done now. We got down to the D. Pause. Rochelle said, I be taking mine. You got one? Oh, that's why you act like that, Chrissy, because you essentially you child free. I mean, you're never not a mom, but if she's 25, she ain't hanging off your titty like I'm sure Angel got two young ones. Okay? That shedding phase when your body is fighting for oxygen, okay? Healthy red blood cells carry oxygen. If your hemoglobin is low and you should be taking your iron supplements, your body does not give a shit about your hair. It's actually going to tell you that the hemoglobin is low by shedding, by breaking. Rochelle, you've been missing the lines, girl. We've been having a good time on here, girl. And you missed the one the other night when they was really cutting up. Is Veronica still in here? Jocelyn, you missed the other night when they was on Instagram and they was cutting up on this live on Facebook and YouTube. Girl, you missed it. We was having a time, wasn't we, Veronica? But I'm finna get off here because I've been on here for almost 2 hours now. I do this every time. Didn't I tell you, Brooke, didn't I say when we first started that I just want to be on here for an hour? I'm going to try to get this live done in an hour. But it's my fault because then we got this talking about Tradarius Joe's and all of the snacks. I could talk for days about the kind of snacks I love. Okay. Veronica and them was over here talking about some damn okra water and blueberries in the water and all types of. We was out here giving out high fives and clapping for each other, right? It was a good time. It was a good time. It was a good time. Chrissy, it's supposed to snow tonight. I can't keep up. But that's it. I'm done. That's your CBD. Okay. Be consistent. Make sure that you're creating balance for your hair. That's going to be essential. Okay. Angel, if you want the products, listen to me, Angel. Listen, if you want the products that I suggest to create balance for your hair, the moisture, protein balance, if you want the products that I suggest for creating balance for your hair, DM me or inbox me, right? You're on Facebook. So inbox me the word length, LENGTH. Don't comment it here. Okay. Don't comment it on the live, Angel. If you want the link, to the products that I recommend for creating balance, inbox me the word length. Don't do it on this live. It's snowing now. Oh, I want to try okra water. Chrissy, get your ass off this live. Get out of here with that okra water. Y'all are crazy. Christina said it never ends in an hour. Dang, Christina. I'm going to try. Okay, I'm going to try tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow between 8 and 9. It's snowing in Canada? Chrissy, get out of here. Okay, we're done. We're done with this live. I'm out of here. I love y'all. I hope you learned something new. Angel, what did we learn today? Veronica, did we learn something new? Christina, did we learn something new? Jocelyn, was this a good refresher for you? One of these days, I'm gonna put the topic up and just let Jocelyn teach the class. Okay. It was Justice ass with these damn blueberries and okra water. I'm not doing this with Justice. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. Not today. Okay? Oh, I'm so excited. Veronica, take some pictures and send it to us. All right, but I'm done. I'll be here tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow Saturday. I'll be here tomorrow with the same. We'll be talking the same. Okay. Sunday starts a new live. Sunday we'll be talking the Silk Press series. Okay. So if you feel like you've learned all that you can learn, right, from the length retention lives, the next lives are going to be about the Silk Press series. You know, why is it what we need to be doing, why we need to be doing it when it comes to silk presses. If you're a straight hair natural and you feel like, and your hair is at its optimal health, you don't have to sit in on this live, okay? But if you're a straight hair natural and you want to learn a couple of things about maintaining the health of your hair, right? Again, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And my favorite thing is to teach you, because I said, Jocelyn could tell you, Jocelyn almost had me crying the last time we saw each other. She's been doing so well with her hair. Her hair has taken a total 180, and it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to experience. Natalie was on here yesterday, the day before yesterday. She sat through the silk press series. She did her silk press for the first time. She loved the results. She's been getting a bunch of compliments. It's my favorite thing to do. I keep telling y'all, I'm going to end the live like this every time. I'm going to end the live like this every time. Woo, don't get... I must be my cycle about to be on this way, because ain't no way I'm fitting to cry when I've been saying the same thing for almost a week now. Ain't no way I'm fitting to cry now saying it. Give me a second. I know y'all seen what 47 just put up, right? That image of the Obamas, how he thinks about people that look like us, right? That's our country, not Canada. That's our country's leader. I can only imagine how many people at work, how many doctors you sit with, how many stewardess on a plane, how many food servers feel exactly the way that he feels. Right? Feel exactly the way that he feels. Sees us as animals. We are literally all we have. Okay? We are all we have. They're not coming to save us. The only way we survive is if we lean on each other. My little piece of the world to give to the world, my little piece of sanity, peace, giving back to women that look like us, the least I could do is sit here on this live and talk about what I already know, talk about what I'm already good at. If sitting on this live for an hour and 45 minutes, an hour and 51 minutes, if sitting on this live for that long allows you to feel like, yo, I have to tune the rest of the world out. Give me something to distract me, something to listen to. Give me a place to learn. If that's what happens here, I've done my part, because what's happening outside is fucking wild. The only way we survive is if we lean on each other. This is my little gift. God gave it to me. God-given talent. Hair comes easy to me. Articulating how you obtain healthy hair comes easy to me. If you don't do anything else, I am begging you, take your gifts and give it to the world, because we need it. We are literally all we have, bro. We are all we have. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm done. All right. Everybody have a good night. If you're not home, get home safe. If you are home, stay safe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.